Alrighty, folks, welcome back here with another weekly video with Back to Divinity. So, this week's topic I'm super excited for. We are going to be talking about eclipse season. So, we have the eclipse season coming up this March, but we also have our second round of eclipse season happening at September. Towards the end of the video, we'll get into a little bit of a preview into the eclipse season in September, as of course, they are going to be connected. So, let's dive in. We have our total lunar eclipse happening on March 13th and 14th, and that is our full moon in Virgo. So, that's super exciting. So keep that in mind, right? In about a week or so, we will be experiencing the full moon in Virgo. But then we also have a new moon in Aries, which is the partial solar eclipse happening on March 29th. So these two things are going to be highlighting some major themes, especially as we connect the dots to the rest of the planets and where they are right now, and also ultimately the eclipse season towards the end of the year in September. So we're going to dive in and start by talking about this full moon in Virgo. So this is a blood moon, red energy, right? So this is giving a lot of, to me, root chakra energy, heavy on securities, foundations, and things of that sort. And this being the last full moon to close out the astrological new year, right? Because the astrological new year begins as soon as we enter spring, and it is a super exciting time, right, to be starting off with this new moon in Aries, but also to be closing out with this full moon in Virgo, right? So let's talk about this closure energy as we are building sturdier foundations going into this astrological new year. So Virgo is feminine energy, right? So feminine energies are going to be highlighted at this time. So how you service others could be up for review, right? So the self versus the other. Depending again on your personal chart, I will be releasing a horoscopes video based off your rising sign as we get closer to the full moon in Virgo. But for now, we're just talking about both of these eclipse transits. So how you nurture others is up for review, but also how you take care of yourself, right? So self-care, the things that you eat, the things that you're putting into your body. Additionally, you're going to be closing out any negative self-talk and doubt, right? Because Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, which is heavy mind energy, right? Our mindset, the overanalyzer, right? And so Virgo will have us over criticizing ourselves without even realizing and being very judgmental on ourselves, right? And as much as sometimes it's helpful to, yes, right, hold yourself accountable for things, which can be highlighted at this time, urging you to let go of any unhealthy patterns, unhealthy eating patterns, whether that's any vices or addictions that are just not helpful for you at this time, right? Finally getting that courage to be like, you know what, it is time to close this out. Do I want to take this with me into the astrological new year? Yes or no? Will it help me be action oriented or will it hold me back? And those are the types of questions you want to be asking yourself when you think about how you are, committing to your self-care on a day-to-day basis, what that routine is looking like, what your relationship to work is looking like, right? And whether you are easily reaching burnout or not, right? At this time, if you do find yourself reaching burnout, that is okay. It is calling attention to the fact that you want to find a better balance with your work life energy, right? And how you are restoring and recharging at times in which it's needed, right? Additionally, we are talking about Virgo energy, which can have a very big health connotation. So you might be called or more inclined to go visit the doctor at this time. Again, depending on where it is in your chart, any health issues could be coming up to the surface. Those are things that are being called to your attention so that you can then plant seeds for how you're going to be on a daily basis doing something differently to avoid it getting worse or, just to prevent any further health issues. You are being called to face whatever you need to now. So daily routine, habits, vices, addictions, self-talk, self-doubt, right? Perfectionism, shame, guilt, judgment. All of those things are going to be brought up to the surface, asking you, are you finding the correct balance between taking care of yourself and also servicing others, right? Are you finding the correct balance between making sure that your day-to-day routine is in alignment with the expectations that you hold for yourself? And if you are meeting those expectations or not, right? So those are the types of things you want to be talking about. Then we have our new moon in Aries, right? To start off and kick off spring and to start off and kick off the astrological new year right at Aries season, meaning the moon and the sun are going to be conjunct. This is a very pivotal time because it sets the tone for the rest of the astrological new year, right? This is let's plant that seed, right? That Pisces season, I know I mentioned, had a lot to do with visualizing, right? The things that you want to call in and also planning, but not necessarily jumping straight into action, right? Because you want to be charged up enough to get there. Now that we are going to be entering the new moon in Aries during Aries season, this is an opportunity for you to actually put action into practice, right? How are you going to be taking those steps, right? Virgo energy was more of the analyzer, thinking about what needs to be closed out. How can we plan to do things differently? What do we need to make space for? Now that new moon in Aries is coming around, all of those vices, addictions, bad habits, and whatever that is stopping you from fully being able to move forward is now out of the way, fully amplifying the energy to push you in the direction in which you are meant to go, right? And giving you all the energy and passion and excitement needed to get there, right? And so again, Aries is a little bit more masculine energy, right? Putting that foot on the gas, right? Stepping into whatever roles are needed at this time that are putting you in such a confident sense of self, that are putting you in a place in which you are feeling in your element, in your throne, as you are approaching this new phase in your life, right? And so, again, the self, sense of self, right? Your ability to lead, your ability to hold authority, right? Your sense of energy and direction and clarity in terms of direction, right? Knowing when to take action and how to take action, right? Having the resources already ready to go to support you in taking those steps, right? Because planting seeds have been a lot of what we've been doing, right? With this Pisces energy, expanding, right? Our mindset in terms of what the possibilities are for our lives, right? And thinking about what actually do we need to do in order to strategize to see that come into our reality. And this Aries energy is starting to get you to start taking those steps, to start doing things differently, right? And so, again, with this new moon energy, there is this newness, right? As further anchoring and supporting that dream that you were trying to bring into your reality, right? And so, again, there's going to be extreme clarity. If you have been kind of confused on direction, where to go, and things of that sort, it is okay. Just keep visualizing, following your truest and deepest desires, aligning logic with intuition as much as possible, right? But listening to that intuitive guidance at this time with this Pisces energy, right? Getting your mindset to work in unison and in harmony with your intuition with the help of the full moon in Virgo, therefore setting you up for a clean slate and foundation entering this new moon in Aries, happening again on March 29th, closing out the month of March and prepping you into a newfound energy moving into the astrological new year. So again, I did say we were going to hint a little bit at the next eclipse season coming up in September. So we have the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces happening on September 7th. Then we also have the new moon solar eclipse happening in Virgo on the September 21st. So we're going from the full moon in Virgo closing out, the astrological new year. And at some point, think about it as like a mid check-in, right? When we start to see some of the results of the seeds that were planted now, right? So with the new moon in Virgo, you could start to see, right, how consistently working towards whatever health routines you set at this time could actually be fully paying off around September, right? And thinking about any vices and addictions you let go could fully be up for revisiting, right? Whether that is commending yourself for the growth in which you did or pushing yourself to close it out one last time, right? Giving yourself that grace happening in September, right? And so again, these two things are connected. This Virgo Pisces, Virgo Aries energy is very in alignment with the North Node at this time, as it is on the Pisces and Virgo axes. And again, the North Node and the South Node are the lunar nodes, therefore connected to the moon. And so when this eclipse season is happening, it is amplifying the nodes that are activated at this time in Pisces and in Virgo. So those themes that I talked about when I released that video on the North Node, you can revisit that to help you understand a little bit more how this eclipse season is helping you piece those pieces together and get to where it is that you need to go. So good luck with this eclipse season. Take advantage of the energies and get excited. It is a new energy approaching and springtime is here. Put the foot on the gas now. Allow yourself to slowly wean out of hibernation, but allow yourself to stay there as needed, right? Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much for listening. Please share, like, subscribe, and follow. Again, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So follow us on Back to Divinity on all platforms. Thank you so much again for listening, and have a good one.